If you've played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl without any source of internet like I did, you probably at some point stumbled upon the Spring Path, which opens up after you defeat the Elite Four and get the National Dex. The short and lonely route opens up into Send-Off Spring, a huge water-filled crater surrounded by flowers. Something's a little off though. Why is it playing this eerie music? It doesn't fit the atmosphere at all. Although, it is a peaceful place, where it seems everything is normal. Quiet. Oddly ominous. But at this point, thinking you have more of Sinnoh to explore, you take a look around and stumble upon a cave of unimaginable sincerity and beauty. By chance, you've stumbled upon the place where all bad souls come to rest. Your eyes glance to the top right of the screen. Turnback Cave. That can't be right. Like, the two areas just before this were so calming. This cave is the exact opposite of sincere or beautiful. It's this ugly, brown, muggy cave, more like a tomb. It is filled with a deep fog. You cannot see where you are going. You feel as if you aren't supposed to be here, as if you shouldn't be here. As you venture further in this cave, that seemingly goes on forever, you get more and more curious. You really want, no, you need to know what the whole point of this is. Where were you going? What lies at the end of this tomb? You keep adventuring, through more doors and paths. It seemingly never ends. You finally get to a new area in what feels like forever. You go through one last passageway and your heart stops. The air around you has gone cold. Chills crawl up your spine. There, standing right in front of you, is a beast. A monster the likes of which you have never seen before. Its eyes as red as blood. Wings as black as midnight. Is it even a Pokemon? Did I pick up a creepypasta copy of Pokemon Pearl? Am I going to have to battle this monster? No. The being in front of you is none other than Giratina, the renegade Pokemon. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you're having a good spooky season. You can't have a good Pokemon Halloween without mentioning all the spooky and creepy stuff in the Pokemon series. For example, ghost types. Ghost types are my favorite type of Pokemon. Obviously. Most of their designs are just super cool. You can usually tell a Pokemon is ghost type if it's purple, the coolest color. Just look at these guys. Wow, epic. And most ghost types have weird supernatural explanations as to why they exist in the first place. Phantump was a child who got lost in the woods and died. Pretty spooky. Yamask's Pokedex entry says that it wanders through the ruins by night, carrying a mask that's said to have been the face it had when it was still human. Which is weird because they all kind of look like the same guy, but whatever. And even Gengar's Pokedex entry says that it was once human itself. And that brings us to the question of today's special Halloween video. In this video, I will be going over the Pokemon Giratina. While most people in the Pokemon community say that it's the devil itself, I think he's just a little bit misunderstood. Giratina is my favorite ghost-type Pokemon. I love his anti-Pokemon design. He just looks like something out of a H.P. Lovecraft novel. He's just so badass that I had to make a video just for him. I think the reason I love him so much is his mystery. His Pokedex entries are so vague that you can't really understand what he's supposed to be, other than that he's like banished. The Pokemon community likes to call him the literal devil, but I just don't think that's the case. I think in certain circumstances, Giratina plays the role of the hero. He's just usually seen messing with his two brothers, Dialga and Palkia, and just causing a whole lot of mischief. Let's go through his Pokedex entries together and see what we can make of this monster. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl's Pokedex entries don't tell us that much about him, unfortunately. They simply say that he lives in a world on the reverse side of ours. And they also say that he appears in an ancient cemetery. Well, that raises more questions than it answers, doesn't it? If he lives in a world on the reverse side of ours, how and why do we get to battle and catch him? Don't worry though, Platinum gives us a lot more info. I mean, he is right on the cover of it. In Platinum, we get to meet Giratina in the Distortion world, the world he was banished to. Its Pokedex entry in Platinum reads, "It was banished for its violence." Okay, nice. So we know he's violent. I'm glad they let a 14-year-old go and battle and catch it. Thanks for the warning, Rowan, you old freak. And that's it for Pokedex entries. Yep. That's all we get. Every other Pokemon game gives us the exact same 2 Pokedex entries that we've just seen. Except for one game. This game's journal entry sheds a little bit more light onto the situation. Literally. There is one Hisuian verse that tells of a powerful light creating a deep shadow. I imagine this shadow is Giratina. The powerful light in this entry probably referring to Arceus. Oh. Yes, that's how I pronounce it, and I don't care how you pronounce it. We know that Arceus created the 3 Sinnoh legends, Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. Dialga given the power of time, Palkia given the power of space, and Giratina who was given the power of antimatter. Since Dialga and Palkia focus on time and space, the 2 things that involve matter, Giratina got everything on the opposite of that. Antimatter. Antimatter? Antimatter? I don't care. Now Arceus gave Giratina the power of antimatter to keep the world balanced. That's his job. He is the Thanos of Pokemon. And Giratina, being the silly little goofball he is, he liked to interfere with Dialga and Palkia's affairs. Oh my god, they were having an affair? And so, Great Arceus banned him to the Distortion World. Gravity works a little bit different in the Distortion World, as evinced by the game. Giratina can transform into its origin form to fly through the Distortion World rather freely. And it's capable of turning itself into a shadow and merging the world with the Distortion World. Some people say Giratina can be just as powerful as Arceus. Take that, Arceus fans. So that basically explains how Arceus got the villain theme going for him. So why on earth does Cream here think he could be a hero? Well, let's see. In Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Giratina interferes with Cyrus's plan to use the red chain on Dialga and Palkia. Giratina single-handedly saves Dialga and Palkia, his 2 brothers. And in the movie, Giratina and the Sky Warrior, Giratina helps Ash defeat Zero, who's trying to steal Giratina's interdimensional capabilities for himself. Zero wants to be the ruler of the Distortion World, which at first doesn't sound like too big of a deal, but if you look at the Distortion World, how it's portrayed in the movie, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. I mean, like, look at this. Just look at how beautiful the Distortion World is in the anime compared to the video game. Giratina did what he had to do to make sure the world remained balanced. Do you really think a truly evil Pokemon would do that just so no one disrupts the natural balance of the world? I don't think so. I don't know, maybe he just doesn't like visitors or something. He's introverted, I guess. And this is why this crazy cool Pokemon is so cool to me. I mean, I had to rewatch the whole movie just so I could see my buddy again. And by the way, if anyone knows where I can get a little Giratina plush, holla at me. So what do you think? Is Giratina still Pokemon's version of the devil? Or is he more of a Thanos? Thanos is still a pretty bad guy. I don't know, I'd just say he's a silly little guy trying to make the world right. He's just a bit misunderstood. He likes to play pranks on his brothers who didn't do that. Don't hate him, cause you ain't him. That just about wraps up this video. Just in time for Halloween, huh? Okay, now, I do this in all my videos. I ask a little question just to interaction farm a little bit. So my question is, since it's Halloween, who is your favorite ghost-type Pokemon? I think it's pretty obvious who mine is. It's Gengar, it's Gengar, it's Gengar. Okay, if you stuck around this long, first of all, thank you. Second, if you're like an upcoming Pokemon content creator like I am, let's make a video together. Let's have like a collab, you know? Let's do something fun. That's just me and you. Hanging out, having a good time, talking about Pokemon. I could talk about Pokemon for hours. But yeah, I'm down to collab with like any smaller creator. Could be you. Let's start something. And with that, I'm out of here. I've got to go. My sugar mama is calling, and baby, I've got a sweet tooth. Later, skaters.